The final game has begun. Let's get into it. Saw 3D, the final chapter, is of course the final installment in the Saw series, and this one wraps up everything, all 7 movies worth. Okay? So basically the plot of this movie is a man claiming to be in one of Jigsaw's traps has gotten famous for this little ruse he has planned out, and Jigsaw himself decides to put him in a real life trap. Not only that, but the repercussions of that trap is not only did he lie about the trap that he was in, Jigsaw puts him in the exact same trap he described on a talk show. At the same time, Jigsaw's apprentice has been found out, so now he's going after Jigsaw's wife, and he's going to get to her by any means necessary, no matter who stands in his way. Now, what I think about Saw the final chapter is it is awesome, okay? This was my very first and only Saw theatrical experience, and sitting there in theaters with the Saw noises going on beside me, all around me, and that scenario where they're in a car and the back is like glued to the seat. Yeah, I was trying to find a comfortable position throughout that entire scene, and when I didn't find one, yeah, I almost stood up in the middle of the theater because sitting in a hard ass chair while a guy is trying to get his back unstuck from a chair. Yeah. Now, we always knew that there was going to be a third apprentice at some point, and we kind of really knew who it was, because if you really paid attention to the Saw movies, all the traps seemingly needed a doctor's touch, okay? And I think you all know which doctor I'm talking about. So, he does show up in this movie, and it's pretty awesome to see him again, even though he's kind of creepy now, and he actually warned the creepy license. The creepy license, I like that one. Now, the traps in this movie, holy shit, they getting balls to the wall awesome, okay? Now, if Saw 6 did great, Saw 8 would have been greenlit. And I really think that if Saw 8 was greenlit by this point, and Saw 7 came out, there was a trap in here where a girl and a guy were hanging. And I'm pretty sure we probably would have seen the full scenario of that trap in this movie, but instead we get like a little glimpse of it. There are several people that claim to have been in Jigsaw's traps. This would have been a perfect opportunity to put those people in those traps, to put everybody who lied about that trap in one of the traps, but instead we put this one guy in a trap, and then he has to go and save his wife that is in the trap with him. That does not know anything about the entire ploy of why he's in this trap, which was interesting. The acting in this movie is pretty good. Okay, it's been pretty good in all the movies. I never really mentioned all the acting in all the movies before because it wasn't really needed to be mentioned, since all the movies themselves were basically based on the traps and the kills themselves. But for the first time, I think, in the Saw franchise, well, for the first time I think since the first 2 movies I mentioned, yeah, they're passable actings. All the movies had passable actings in it. But hey, Saw 8 did get announced last November, so I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Hopefully we get one within the next 2 years or so. I can't wait for this 8th movie to see where it's going to go with his third apprentice, because I know he's not done. He is not done. Yeah. And plus I love the trap at the very beginning of the movie where the 2 guys and the chick, that was cool. All in all though, Saw the final chapter is a great time. I love it. I'm going to give Saw the final chapter an A. this has been a great franchise for me. I love the Saw franchise, loved everything about it. Okay, so let me know what you guys think about Saw, the final chapter, down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And what do you think of the entire franchise as a whole? Let me know down below. I'll see y'all on my next horror franchise.